been a while since I have live streamed, so we'll see what happens here. But I kind of wanted, people obviously can pay for personal readings during this live stream. It's just $5 for a 10-minute reading, which is very reasonable. I'm like McDonald's over here with the deals. It's a good deal. So yeah, you can order those readings either by purchasing a super chat for $5 or a super sticker. I know that some people watching from India, for whatever reason, it won't allow you to purchase the super chat, but you can still purchase the super sticker. So $5 US, or whatever the equivalent of that is in your currency, will get you a 10-minute reading. So still waiting for people to show up, but I kind of wanted to talk about this Venus retrograde as well. It's coming up. We're already in the shadow zone of the retrograde, which I can explain more about what that means in a moment. But Venus is going to turn retrograde on March 1st, and it is February 20 something. Whoever is watching, hello. Anyway, we're getting to the end of February now, but March 1st is when Venus will turn retrograde, and which means that it appears to be moving backwards in the zodiac. Obviously, it's not actually physically changing directions, but from its apparent motion. Oh, we've got 4 people watching. Like what it looks like Venus is doing, it goes back through the degrees of the zodiac. So I kind of wanted to talk about Venus retrogrades in general. Hello, Randy. It's nice to meet you. Good to have you here. But also this specific retrograde, because I have some ideas about it. Like I feel like we can already kind of see some of the energy that's been set into motion as this retrograde approaches in terms of world events, peacemaking specifically. And this is a big retrograde too, because the degrees that Venus is going to pass through during the retrograde are also the degrees that the next 2 eclipses. Eclipse season is starting in March. We have 2 eclipses in March during this Venus retrograde, and they're within the same degrees that Venus is traveling during its retrograde. And it's interesting because we're revisiting peace talks right now, like big news on the world stage if you're interested in that. But like on a personal level, I'm going to talk about what I feel like it means there as well. Thank you for the heart, whoever sent that. That was really sweet. Yeah, so March 1st, Venus will be at 10 degrees of Aries. This is in the tropical zodiac, aka Western zodiac. Hello, Psychgia. And then it's going to travel backwards to 24 degrees of Pisces. And then on April 12th, at that 24th degree of Pisces, it will turn direct again and start moving forward. Yes, it has been a while since I've live streamed, but I kind of just felt called to do it. The weather is nice and spring-like here in central eastern Kentucky where I'm at. I am doing well. We've got a high of 65 degrees here, which is nice. I think we might be out of the winter weather. And they're selling swimsuits at Walmart, which I just want to point out too, like before we really get into the other things that I have to say about Venus retrograde, and also I hope that you all are doing well. Like people get really superstitious about retrogrades, and in particular, like with Venus retrograde, the advice is like, don't buy clothing or home decor or like Venusian things when Venus is in retrograde, because it's going to be bad. But I have an actual show and tell example of why that's not necessarily the case. It can lead to some interesting outcomes, but in 2023, the last time Venus was retrograde, it was retrograding in the sign of Leo, which is a fun, sort of flamboyant sign. And I had to buy a new swimsuit, and it was like at the end of swimsuit season, and I'm just going to the Walmart because I want to buy something in person rather than online because I needed it more immediately. I didn't want to wait for something to come in the mail. So they had slim pickings because it was the end of this, it was like September, and I just needed a new swimsuit because I wanted to go swim laps or something. So I got this Barbie pink swimsuit, which is definitely not what I would normally purchase. I think it's cute. Like, I think it's super cute, but I would normally be like, oh, that's super cute on someone else. It's not really what I would buy for myself. But yeah, it's getting a little bit too big for me now, but you know what? It was like an interesting purchase. Like, I purchased it during the Venus retrograde in Leo. It has brought joy into my life, right? I think it's a fun swimsuit. The Barbie pink swimsuit. Hello, Anne. But anyways, so I think that's just an interesting example of how retrogrades can work. Like, people get so, like with Mercury retrogrades, for example, you know, like, don't get your car repaired. Like, well, if your car is broken, you're gonna have to take it to the shop. And like, what I've also experienced is sometimes the retrogrades just lead us to maybe do things differently than we normally would, right? Like during the Venus in Leo retrograde, I purchased a swimsuit that normally I wouldn't purchase, and yet the outcome was, it was fun for me. Your car is broken now, Trace, so I'm sorry to hear that. I feel the struggle. I had to do so many car repairs this past year. On top of like newly living in my car, it was extremely stressful. But yeah, I'm doing really well, actually. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling well adjusted to life and looking forward to what comes next. Yeah, car repairs are the worst. I'm sorry. I'm going to be sending some good energy your way, Trace. Or Tress. Yeah, so this, I feel like it's interesting, you know, like Venus, so the Venus retrograde period began at the end of January, I think, because when it first, so do you all know what the retrograde shadow zone is? Like when the planet is going forward, it starts to cross the path that it will eventually back over. Right? So it's not technically in a retrograde until it starts to go retrograde. That's when the retrograde itself begins. But before that happens, as it's going forward, right? So when it hits, when back in, I guess, the end of January, when Venus was going forward and it initially hit 24 degrees Pisces and so on, and it kept going, then it was in the retrograde shadow zone, meaning these are the degrees that the retrograde is going to happen in. And so those degrees are from 24 degrees of Pisces into 10 degrees of Aries. So we're going from the end of the zodiac, because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, into the beginning of the zodiac, because Aries obviously is the first sign of the zodiac. So like we're going forward into Aries and then we're backing up. And when it gets back to 24 Pisces, it's going to go forward again. And then we'll be out of the retrograde, but it'll still take it a while to get out of the retrograde zone. But what's interesting to me about this as well, hello Queen Bee, it has been a while, yep, but I'm back at it. There are going to be 2 eclipses that occur within these degrees in the month of March. So again, the Venus retrograde begins March 1st. Then on March 14th, we're going to be having a lunar eclipse. Now the moon is at 23 Virgo, but the sun will be at 23 Pisces. So 23 Pisces is in that Venus retrograde zone, and it takes both the sun and the moon to make an eclipse. Also, they have to align with the north and south node, which are also going to be in Pisces and Virgo, opposite signs. So that eclipse is falling, you know, basically in the way that I conceive of it, because the sun is involved. That eclipse is involved with this Venus retrograde. And then we have on March 29th, a solar eclipse at 9 degrees Aries. And remember, the degree at which Venus eventually turns retrograde is 10 degrees Aries. So it's just very, like, it's a very potent, more potent maybe than normal Venus retrograde. And we've had, I don't know if you all really watch the news or anything, but it was yesterday or the day before, Donald Trump had a meeting with President Macron from France. and there have been other meetings going on, but peace talking. And when we're getting into a retrograde, we're also revisiting things. They were talking about the timeline for peace, and like Donald Trump was saying, well, maybe within a couple weeks we could work out a peace deal. I don't know. You know, for me, the fact that this Venus retrograde seems to be kind of thematically about revisiting peace. Venus is the planet of peace, but it's also, when it's in the Pisces portion of it, it's more interested in peace and the idealistic notion of making peace. But the portion of it in Aries is more like, okay, but what am I getting out of it? And from what I've noticed on the news in terms of these peace talks, we already kind of see both things going on. Like, you know, like Donald Trump is like, I want to make peace here, but like Ukraine needs to be giving us something in return, right? It's like the self-interest mixed with the diplomacy of Venus. And then the Venus and Pisces part of it is the more like willing to make sacrifices, because when you make compromises, always like there have to be sacrifices to be made. But it does seem like there's a lot of serious interest in peacemaking right now, which is good. But I just feel like, you know, I wonder when an actual peace is going to come about. Like, will it happen before this Venus retrograde is over, or will it take a little bit longer for the kinks to get worked out? I don't know. But in any case, I feel like it's very interesting. It's a very interesting Venus retrograde period. Do any of you have planets from within that part of the zodiac, from 24 Pisces to 10 Aries? Or on the other side of it, 24 Virgo to 10 Libra? I suppose any of the mutable signs, really, but those in particular. So anyway, that's everything that I wanted to say about that. I've bored you all to death. I just had to get it out of my system because I feel like it's interesting. Like, we can already kind of see, or at least I feel like I can see in terms of world events, how this Venus retrograde is already sort of being felt. Again, we are in the shadow zone of the retrograde. It's just that retrograde doesn't officially begin until March 1st, but we're seeing like the preliminary, like, revisiting of peace talks, and maybe looking at things differently as well. Like, obviously the current U.S. administration is taking a very different approach from the previous administration. So, like, again, that's a sort of retrograde impact too. Like, doing things differently than normally have been done. Like with my swimsuit, for example. So, like I said, I am thinking about getting a new swimsuit. Like, I'm like, should I go ahead and get it before this retrograde starts? Do I want a Venus and Aries themed swimsuit? I'm not sure. Venus and Pisces seems better for a swimsuit, right? But yeah. But yeah, like on a personal level, I think what we could be kind of juggling with that Venus and Pisces to Venus and Aries and back and forth again. Anne is agreeing with me. Venus and Pisces seems better for a swimsuit. Yeah, I feel like it makes more sense. Pisces being a water sign and whatnot. Yes, I'm doing readings for $5. You can purchase a SuperChat or a SuperSticker, $5 for a 10-minute reading. So it's like as much ground as we can cover in 10 minutes during the live stream. So yeah, those are open now. But yeah, on a personal level, we might also be thinking about like self-interest versus compromise or personal sacrifice, because Pisces is a little bit more about personal sacrifice, letting down our boundaries, but Aries wants to put up boundaries. Aries is like prepared to fight, prepared to like put self-interest first. You know, it's like Venus in Aries is like a healthy sense of self-pride, or like, you know, again, like, what am I getting out of it? Like, you know, I'm not chopped liver, right? Venus in Pisces does get a little bit idealistic sometimes. It wants to believe the best in people, and because of that, sometimes it can become a little bit naive. And Venus in Aries is probably tends a little bit more to be ready to stand up for itself. So figuring out our boundaries, you know, what do we want our boundaries with other people to be? I have the window down because it's warm today, and I know that that is making the traffic outside a little bit loud, so hopefully you can still hear me over the traffic. You can let me know. Maybe I need to project more, or maybe I need to close the window. Okay. Let's see. Anne says, am I in a twin flame connection? Just a general love reading as well if you have time. Okay. Can you say the name or initials of the person? Or are you asking about a specific person, or you're just saying in general, do you have a twin flame? I just want to understand the question here, if you could clarify. I have not started the timer yet, so I'm going to wait till you've clarified here. Are you just asking in general, do you have a twin flame? Or is it like a specific person that you're thinking of, and you're wanting to know if that specific person is your twin flame? I do want to say personally, like, the twin flame journey is not, I mean, it's not very conducive to, there are lots of things that we learn. It triggers us into our soul growth, you know, but it's like people get this idea that if someone's their twin flame, then, oh, it's the person I'm destined to be with, or whatever. We might be destined to be with them for a time, but it's very hard to stabilize a twin flame connection. Because that isn't really the purpose of it. Like on my website, which I have a link to below, I'm still waiting on you to clarify, Anne. But on my website, I have on my blog there, I have an article or a journal entry about this. Like, it's kind of like if you take two flint stones, you know, and you knock them together, right? It creates a spark. Meeting your twin flame does that to a person on a spiritual, sometimes psychic level. Like, it can open someone up more fully to their psychic gifts, or open them up to a spiritual upgrade type of experience, like a spiritual awakening of sorts. So that's that flint stone. But the flint stones don't stick together, right? They go like this in order to create those sparks. And likewise with twin flames, it's just, like I said, it's hard to stabilize it. So, Anne, I can't start your reading until I understand your question. I hope that you are able to hear me, because I'm going to need you to clarify. Okay, in general, do you have a twin flame? Okay. Okay, I'm starting the timer. Hello, Rach. It's nice to see you. Okay, so does Anne does Anne have a twin flame? Is there a twin flame connection? Okay, I'm getting a strong yes, because all three cards are upright. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and then the King of Swords. So yeah, I do feel, actually, despite what I've just said, like, I do feel like there is a little, this is a more grounded twin flame connection than most, you know. And some twin flame connections, they are able to ground themselves more and like create some sort of stable, to some degree at least, relationship. So there is more of a likelihood that you could have that. Also, the King of Swords represents logic. I know in my personal twin flame experience, like, it was not that at all. And I see a lot of twin flame experiences where people are running around like chickens with their heads cut off. But like I said, it does also open up a lot of times spiritual gifts and spiritual awakening. So let me see if this is someone that you have already met physically in this life. So I'm getting a no. So you do have a twin flame connection out there. You have not met them yet. I think when you do meet them, it'll be, there will be a nice, like, even initially when you meet them, it will feel very nice. Maybe it won't occur to you at the beginning when you meet them, like, oh, we're gonna form some, like, lasting thing here, but like there's a feeling of like, oh, this is a nice person, we seem to get along with this Page of Cups. But I don't think with the Sun reversed and the Three of Wands reversed, you may not necessarily assume right off that this is something that's going to last. But it feels like a momentary, like you encounter the person, you're like, oh, that's a cool person, I like them. That seems to be like the initial encounter. So how long would it be until they meet? Hello, Shan. I will put you on the list. And you will be next after Anne, who I'm reading for right now. I feel like it will be in the warmer months, like spring or summer, but let me see if what year it will happen. Is it gonna happen, let's see, when will they meet? 5 years or less? So again, predictions, I just want to remind people, predictions are not guarantees. Predictions are predictions. It's like predicting the weather. You know, like you predict the weather because there's a good likelihood of that weather coming about. But a prediction is not a guarantee. So I just want to put that out there. But 5 years, I do have a major arcana card, the Tower upright, and then like for the, is it less than 5 years, we have a major arcana reversed. It's not going to be more than 5 years, but I would say it's like close to 5 years because that's the strongest card here. It's a very potent energy at 5 years from now. And it does feel, you know, the Tower card doesn't necessarily mean things bad are going to happen, but it does indicate things happening very suddenly or unexpectedly, or like I said, like you also see on the Tower card, it's like the crown chakra being blasted off, right? Which is often what happens when we come in contact with our twin flame. It's like, again, like that spiritual awakening, which can be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. But yeah, I would say it's like close to 5 years. It could be slightly less because we have a major arcana for the less part, but this is the strongest card. So I would say it's about 5 years from now that you would come into contact with this twin flame. And so that's what I've got so far. And we've got about 5 minutes left. If there's anything else you wanted to ask, either about the twin flame situation or just anything else, feel free to use all of your time here. It's kind of nice being doing a live stream again. It has been a while. Is marriage possible in the next 12 months? Are you in a relationship with someone? I mean, I'll do the yes or no, but I'm just curious for my own interest. So let's say yes or no. Is she likely to get married in the next 12 months? I do get more of a yes because 2 of the 3 cards are upright. But again, predictions are not guarantees. This is going to be my disclaimer on predictions now. Like, I don't mind doing predictions. I personally feel like the better use of divination or tarot for me is like understanding one's life better, understanding our connections to other people better, you know. Because with predictions, like I said, it's like predicting the weather. Like, yeah, we can kind of hit the target, but there's also so much that can influence it. I do feel it is more of a yes, though. These are some interesting cards, though. We have the Seven of Pentacles, the Hermit card, and then the King of Pentacles reversed. So, yeah, it's possible that you could get married in the next 12 months, but it feels a little bit like a lonely marriage if you were to get married. And the King of Pentacles reverse is not the greatest card for a spouse, because it's like, I don't know, it feels like maybe the reasons for getting married are not necessarily about love. It might be due to material reasons. But it just feels like maybe there's still a sense of loneliness, like it would be a lonely marriage. Okay, we've got 3 minutes left, and you're asking about characteristics of your twin flame. We did get that King of Swords before, so I would say it is someone who is intellectual and logical. 3 of Wands, 4 of Swords. I kind of feel like your twin flame is someone who's kind of like peacefully going about their life. The kind of person who just like tries to make the best of life, like kind of flies under the radar. Like they're pursuing their goals, right? But they're not really getting involved in a lot of drama. They're staying in their own lane. This is someone who stays in their own lane. I do feel like this is a loving person, but I feel like they're very, very peaceful, but like just not really getting too involved in what other people are doing. I do get the Devil card, though. Let's see what that's about. Okay. Wow, this is interesting. Jeez. Okay, I do feel like this is someone who has like 2 sides to their personality. So they have that public side of their personality where most people would be like, oh, that person's so laid back, you know, like they're so laid back, easygoing. But I feel this is a part of them that does emerge more in their personal life. We have the Devil, the Hanged Man, and it's like still waters run deep. That's what I would say. This is someone who they come across as very easy peasy, but the still waters run deep. Underneath it, like they're a very emotionally charged person. I feel like in their personal life in particular, they get very attached to people. Yeah, I think being in a relationship with this person, for anyone, not just you as their twin flame, but like for anyone who's involved with this person, it's like a life-changing experience, because when you get to know them on a personal level, it's so like this, it's all encompassing, right? When they are in love with someone, it's a very all encompassing experience. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it, but very intense emotions, possessive. I feel like I'm gonna have to close the window because it's getting too loud. Okay, so we've got like 20 seconds left. Okay. Is he younger than me? We've got 5 seconds left. Let's see. I'm not enjoying the NASCAR sounds. Also, why do people need to do that? I don't understand it. Okay. Is this twin flame younger, about the same age, or older? So yeah, he is younger because that's the star card. He is younger than you. All right. Are you enjoying the NASCAR sounds? I imagine you are not. I did like kind of having the window open, but it's cooler now, so In terms of the breeze, it was nice, but yeah, why do people, this is the thing that I don't understand. Apparently people will modify their cars to make the engine sound louder. I don't know if that's what that person had done, but like, I know that it's a thing that people do. Like to me, because I've had issues before, like when I first had a car, like muffler issues and the engine is loud, it's undesirable. Yeah, it's like everyone needs to, you're right, it's like self-confidence or ego, or like, I want everyone to pay attention to me. I don't know. Hello, Dane. Okay, so right now I'm reading for Shan, and then Dane, you're going to be right after Shan. And that was a great choice, that great question that you asked. It looks like you paid twice. I don't know if you meant to do that, but I don't have a way of giving, I don't have a way of reimbursing you there. So if you accidentally sent it twice, I don't know, you'll have to take that up with YouTube. Okay, Shan, I see what you're writing here. Let me go back. Whoops. I'm just trying to put a heart there. Okay. Is D my karmic soul tie or twin flame? He acted cold to me. I do have another person. His name is Adam. If our relationship will work out in the future. Okay, let me know which one you want to start off with, because I'm going to need to focus. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dane. All right, Shan, which person do you want to focus on first? Okay, with D first, and the question was, is that your karmic soul tie or twin flame? See, karmic soul tie is not even a term that I am familiar with, but I'll ask the question. You know, I'll let your spirit guides tell you yes or no, but like, I don't even really know what that means. I don't know what a karmic soul tie is. All right, starting the clock now for Shan. Is D Shan's karmic soul tie or twin flame? Is D either of those things for Shan? So I'm getting a no, because most cards are reversed. Yeah, I mean, basically, I would feel like there is a significant emotional connection, clearly, because we have 3 cups cards. So why did D act cold? Why did he act cold? He ignored your messages. Well, his energy is the 7 of Pentacles. Yours is the Ace of Pentacles. The shared energy is the Emperor. I mean, I feel like the 7 of Pentacles can indicate someone waiting or just biding their time. And it's paired with the Page of Swords. So it's kind of like, I feel like he's probably still mulling it over. Like whatever you said in your messages, he's definitely, I feel like he has read them. And he's thinking about them, like trying to understand the messages. So he may not have responded. You're saying he ignored your messages. I don't think he ignored them. He has not responded, which is, I understand what you're saying. Like you feel that he is ignoring you, basically, by not responding. But he's definitely paying attention to the messages. I feel like he's noticed them. You know, like he sees that they're there. But it's like there's a feeling of him biding his time, and I think he does view those messages as indicating that you are trying to offer an opportunity, you know, to begin again, or like to create something together, like maybe to start a relationship with this Ace of Pentacles. Like he feels like you both have something in particular that you want to get out of this situation, because the shared energy is the Emperor card, which is a card of, I know what I want here. So let's see, if you want, I can see like what he wants and why he's biding his time. What does he want? The Queen of Wands. Well, he wants, does he see you as the Queen of Wands? Yes, he does see you as a Queen of Wands. He wants you. He does want you. He's attracted to you. I think he feels that maybe you don't quite understand that, which would be understandable if he's not responding to you. But so why is he waiting? Why is he biding his time in terms of the communication? I mean, I think he just hasn't really figured out how to respond yet. He has not figured out what to say in response to what you have said. What's the advice to Shan about him? I think they're saying basically to give him the benefit of the doubt here with this 10 of Cups. How long has it been since he didn't reply? A week now? Yeah. I mean, I feel like he did not want to respond impulsively. He does want you. What's his mindset about right now about responding? Right now his mindset is the Four of Swords. So I would say when he initially got the messages, he was really like pondering them, but he didn't want to respond impulsively. And now he's the Four of Swords. He still does not, to me, it does not feel like he has an urgent need to respond. But I think he is still thinking about what his responses could be. But yeah, I mean, I'm asking again, what's the advice? I had the 10 of Cups as advice and now the Ace of Cups. So it feels like it's like, I don't know, like take it, give him a little bit of grace here and maybe not assume the worst. Like, I definitely feel like he's into you. But just because someone is into us doesn't mean that they're going to communicate well with us either. You know what I mean? It also doesn't mean just because someone likes us that we're going to end up together. But I don't know if you had anything else to ask about D. We've got a little more than 4 minutes left. If you wanted to ask about the other guy. Okay, so you said, is your relationship going to work out in the future? Are you saying that you're currently in a relationship with him, or you're wondering if you will eventually be in a relationship? You're okay. I mean, does D know about that? Because that could definitely be why he's not responding. Or at least contribute to it. Okay. Shan, if you're already in a relationship, I'm not saying it's bad for you to have options, but you have to understand, like, someone might have some hesitation, you know, like, people don't like getting their heart broken, you know what I'm saying? All right, but let's focus on Adam here. What's the energy with Shan and Adam? Adam. So this is the current energy, which is great. He is the Sun, you are the Page of Cups. Shared energy is the Queen of Wands. Like, I feel like there are good, positive feelings overall. The two of you like you both like the attention. You both think that the other one is good looking and has a great personality, that type of thing. And what's the going forward, what is the relationship like? Well, it still seems very positive. We have the Temperance card, the Six of Wands, and then the Knight of Cups. Like, it feels like the two of you are getting along. You both are feeling like you're getting good things out of it. The love is there. There's harmony and balance. Again, like, both of you feel good about being together. So yeah, I mean, like, I feel like this relationship with Adam, like, you're going to get out of it what you want to get out of it, right? Like, you can make of it what you want. Like, there are good vibes here, like good energy. It's very positive energy, you know? So as long as you want to stay in this relationship, it feels like there's longevity here. I know you said it's a long distance relationship, so I know that can be difficult for people sometimes. You feel positive with him, yeah. And likewise, he feels positive with you. Yep. So that's what I see there, which I'm glad to be able to... D, you feel is more of a fling. Yeah. And sometimes people are okay being someone's fling. But obviously, sometimes people are not okay with being someone's fling. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you've asked him how he feels about it or anything, but sometimes people don't like that. They don't like being the extra. Like, most of the time, people don't like it. Sometimes people don't care, though. Sometimes people even like being that. So you just never know. Everybody's different, and people go through different phases in their life as well. We've got about 48, 47, 46 seconds left. And then Dane is next. So if you have any, Shane, if you have any burning questions real quick, it would have to be something that I can answer quickly. But let me scroll back and see what Dane was saying. Am I on the right path or making the right choices right now? This is great. And also on my new YouTube channel, which is linked to below, it's called Luna by Gabby Turner. I actually just recently had a pick a card posted on that channel. There are a ton of pick a card videos on there as well. But one of them is about, like, am I making good life choices? So if anyone's interested in that. All right. Thank you so much, Shan. I think this was the first time I've seen you in my live stream. If not, I'm sorry. I do not have the greatest memory, but it was wonderful to have you, and I hope that that reading was helpful. And Dane, if you're here, we're going to be looking into, are you making good life choices? Are you on the right path? I think I'm going to switch decks. Switch over to Cosmic Tarot deck. I'm going to give this a good shuffle while I wait to hear from Dane. I don't know what it is with me. Shorts they don't hang on me like normally. They're all like lopsided and weird. Like, it never do they just hang like normal. I don't get it. I would not make a good mannequin for multiple reasons. Well, I hope Dana's here. But nobody else has purchased a reading, so we can just chillax until Dane gets here. Might have gone to get a snack or something, or take care of some business, whatnot. I don't have anything to talk about. I already went through my Venus retrograde spiel. Well, one of the other things, have you all heard this, like, the cake drama about the Walmart heart-shaped cakes? Do you all know what I'm talking about? You know how the internet gets into drama sometimes? It feels like it's very TikTok influenced as well. Like, people get into like so much drama on TikTok. Well, I was gonna say I'm not on TikTok. I do actually have a TikTok account. I just don't use it. I started one there to try to use as a business account, and it's like wasn't taking off. And like, I don't really get TikTok like as a viewer or consumer of content. Like, it's just, I don't know if I have not been on there enough for it to build an algorithm that has anything to do with anything I would be interested in, but it's just random stuff that I get that I'm like, I don't care about watching this. Well, I'd like to wait for Dane to actually be here when I do the reading. Dane, if you are here, I'm ready for your reading. You just gotta let me know in the comments so that I know that you are here. But anyway, there's this cake drama. Nobody has heard of the cake drama. So for Valentine's, I guess, this year, Walmart started selling heart-shaped cakes, which the baking community calls them vintage heart-shaped cakes, which I don't understand why they're vintage. It's a heart shape. Like, how is a heart shape any more vintage than like a round or a square shaped cake? I don't like, what makes that vintage? I mean, they've had heart-shaped pans around for a while, I guess, but also they've had the square ones and the round ones. I just don't know. I'm lost. I don't even know if anyone's listening to me. It says 5 people are watching, but people are like really getting into a back and forth about the Walmart cakes, because I guess home bakers are Walmart can sell like the bigger ones, like the ones that would be like that big, I guess, for 25 bucks. Like a cake that's big enough to share with multiple people. And then they have small ones, which I would assume they'd have to be pretty like personal size cakes for like 5 bucks. That are also heart-shaped. And I guess some people are like, oh wow, this is proof that, like, you know, people who sell their cakes as a personal business, like, they don't need to be charging so much, because people will charge like between $50 and $150 for a cake, like, you know, like that size cake, like a 6-inch, 8-inch type cake. And I don't know, it's this whole thing. I don't even know if I want to get into it, because who knows, I could accidentally push someone's buttons. But it's just weird, the types of things that erupt into drama. I don't know if I should just go ahead and do Dane's reading and like he can watch it in the playback. I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, and hopefully this doesn't get me booted. I don't know. It's a cigarette. It's tobacco. I haven't been smoking, but I bought a pack today. I'm a bad kid. Everyone is so quiet. It says 4 people are watching, but like, what are you watching? There's nothing to watch. I mean, I'm grateful that you're here, but I'm just like... I mean, can someone say something? Like sometimes the stream gets stuck and people are trying to communicate to me and it's not, like it could be that there's a tech issue. If I don't hear someone say something soon, I'm gonna have to restart the live stream because I don't know what's going on. If there really are 4 people here, someone should be able to say something. I'll give it like a minute. If someone has not said something in a minute, I'll have to like restart the stream. I feel like it must be broken. Oh, technology, why must you do us like this? I feel like someone would have said something by now. Okay, restarting the stream.